Can you just go through the review over the last 48 hours? Like, how tough was that to watch back in terms of excellent start, but watching how the game just fell away from you?
Yeah, it was, like, no lie, pretty tough to watch, and it definitely doesn't reflect what we've been working on the last few months, particularly the last month. And yeah, it's just upsetting to see that we couldn't put out on the field what we've been working so hard for. And fortunately enough, we have, this next round versus Wales again to kind of rectify that and produce a result we're happy with and build some confidence, especially leading into the World Cup in a couple of weeks.
On reflection, how much did that 35-minute lightning delay really just affect the side and just to kind of affect what you were trying to do out there?
Yeah, the lightning wasn't ideal. It was the first time it's happened to me and a few of the other girls. So the staff and everyone were really, accommodating, keeping us moving, keeping us warm and kind of pushing us and focusing on the next task if the lightning stayed away, which it did. So we definitely had all the tools, but we just got out there and, it was just an upsetting result. Like, we had the energy, I just don't think we were clicking on that day, and a lot of things to work on and a lot of areas that, didn't require any talent and dropped too many balls. So just those little things that we can fix, I'm sure will have a completely different result.
For the corresponding fixtures against Wales, you kind of had a similar formula. You lose in Newport and then came out South Africa and completely turned it around. Is there any confidence to gain by the fact that you have been in the same situation and you have been able to then go on a run of victories?
We haven't spoken it too much over the last 48 hours, but because we were looking for that 2-win. So I guess we can reflect back on last year and see that we can do it. So yes, something that we can definitely focus on in the days leading up. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't acceptable what we produced, and we're looking to really rectify that and excuse me, and produce a better result, because that's not who we are.
Just on that review, just take us into it a little bit. Is it players sort of standing up saying, like, look, that wasn't good enough? Is it coaches laying down the law? What sort of goes on when you know a review like that is coming and you have to sort of sit through and analyse it?
Yeah, we know it's going to sting, and but that's the reality. And if we want to get better, we need to be accountable for our actions, and individually and as a team. And I think there was a lot of honesty in our review, which was really good to see. And I think it's a really good step forward, taking that accountability. And now we can really just, streamline our focus onto how we can fix that and then move from there.
Final one for me now. You find yourself in the back three with essentially a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old, if my math's correct, in Wallaroos and Caitlin. Like, it's a pretty unique situation to be in. As someone who's admittedly set past still finding their feet in rugby, how do you find that dynamic of trying to nurture those two coming through the system and stepping up as the senior member of that back three?
Yeah, well, they're talented football players, so when I'm on the field, I feel like I'm kind of learning from them. I do my part off the field, kind of try to be there for them in any way I can. Like, as an older sister, I kind of see it as. But I'm still young in my rugby journey, and they've got so much raw, untapped talent. So I think just learning from each other, and they've done really well, and they gel really well. So I think that's showing on the field, and I'm excited to see what else it produces.
Hi, I'm Mel.
Hey.
I guess one positive spin I guess you can put on it is that you did create a lot of opportunities. I was looking in terms of things like the meters run and defenders beaten and the carries and that. Like, they were way above the Welsh. So does that sort of give you belief, I suppose, that you just need to convert a few more of those to beat back?
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, in our review, that's something that was brought up. Our stats were in our favour, and we still came away with a loss, which was really frustrating. But it just, makes it a clearer picture on what we have to work on. Retaining that ball, we dropped way too many, and converting those A-zone 22 entries. So, in hindsight, it kind of gives a better picture and clearer picture on what exactly we have to work on. But again, we need to be better, and that's something we're definitely going to push for this week. Respect ourselves and respect everyone that came to watch. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, but I guess we have to look to play to our conditions. Our scrum was doing pretty well, so I think just acknowledging that and playing to what's going well on the day. Like you said, the last few games our lineouts have been great, and we have a lot of faith in our leaders, our lineout leaders, and our forwards to execute that, and we want to back them and fulfill them with confidence. But then again, we've got to take a step back and reflect on what the conditions are that day. It was raining, a bit slippery, how our scrum was going and what we were looking to achieve in each zone. So that's another reflection we've had, and again, a lot of accountability has been taken, and I think it's going to yield a really positive result in the coming week.
And just finally for me, being sort of, in the same city as the touring Lions, I know the Rugby Australia is kind of rallying the Welsh supporters and other, to get down there. I guess it might be, a nice taster ahead of the World Cup when, you'll be in the UK for that. So, it'd be good, I guess, to get some supporters out there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even going to watch the Wallabies, surrounded by our Wallabies supporters and the British and Irish Lions, it was, definitely a taste of hopefully what we're going to get to see in the World Cup in England. I mean, predicted to be the biggest one to date, which is awesome, and it's great for the game and the women's game. So getting a taste of that, kind of acclimatised to that, I think it's a bit of like a good preparation heading into the World Cup. No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just a couple for me, Desi. You sort of touched on conditions there. I think it was 24 turnovers at the end of the 80 minutes. Like, when you look at review, were the coaches sort of stressing maybe the need to just tightening play a little bit, right? Because I know, again, expansive play is the main sort of style for the team, but was there a need to just sort of tighten it a little bit just to adapt to conditions more?
Yeah, and that's, again, something that we spoke about. We need to adapt during the game. It's not good enough to look at it after and say we should have done this. So, we need to speak about tightening up, especially when it's a wet ball. 24, I think, turnovers, and more than half of them were, drop balls. And so clearly it's not good enough, and it just shows that we need to be better at recognising what's going wrong and how we can fix it. So, that's, again, definitely something we've spoken about, the leaders have acknowledged, and something we were looking to manage and work on in the next game.
Just one last one. Taking over goal kicking duties as well. Can you talk about that development in your game? Is that something you've always been doing, just in the background? I know because you've had people like Bella at Wallaroos level, Laura in the past. There's been a couple of people who've been a kicker, but having that extra responsibility, how do you sort of find that heading into this game?
Yeah, well, I was really grateful. Joe gave me the opportunity. That's the reason I started playing rugby. I was kicking the ball off a tee with my brother at the park, and then now it's kind of a full circle moment. I got to kick for my country. So hopefully I can do it again. But I was just grateful for the opportunity and for them having that trust and belief in me to secure the points.